Hi, hello. Hello, happy Friday. This is Dolly, your diversity and anti-bullying coach and blogger at dollytalks.com. So we just celebrated 4th of July, and I hope everybody had a wonderful day. I had a really relaxing holiday. I didn't want to really do a lot because usually we go out and join the festivities and all, but you get caught up in that traffic, and it's not always so fun to get out of there. And also lugging all your stuff around, like, if you decide to barbecue at a park and watch the fireworks and all that, I didn't feel like doing any of that, so we just stayed home. And then we just walked down to the park near the house and had a good time. It was just the perfect weather. It was beautiful, and we got to see a lot of fireworks throughout the city. So it was pretty good. I hope you had a really wonderful one too. And then this morning I got up and went to work, and it's been a long day. It's really rough when you have to get up after a holiday, because I ended up staying up late, not realizing how late it was, and then you get up early and gotta go to work. So yeah, I haven't taken a nap yet. I'll be going to bed early, but anyway, it was all good. I got a lot done today. So let's see some updates. I started the Dolly Talks show on Instagram this past Wednesday, and I'm really excited about that because the whole point of having the Dolly Talks show on Instagram and on Facebook, because Facebook, the Dolly Talks show is every Friday. That's why I'm here today. And I'm streaming on both Instagram and on Facebook today, just because I like trying out, the dual thing. And so I'm going to continue to have the Dolly Talks show on both. So Wednesdays it'll be on Instagram if you prefer that platform. Fridays it'll be on Facebook. So on Fridays it'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and on Instagram it'll be at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm also going to try to have guests for you, and I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to have every other show a new guest, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see what else. The blog. If you go to dollytalks.com, you'll notice that the author is not always me anymore. So I am inviting people to share their knowledge on our platform, because I feel like it's really important to have different types of like angles about certain issues, and people bring value to the table because they have different perspectives, they have different ways of coming up with solutions for things. So I think that that's really important for you all to know and to have options. And it's really exciting too, just to have another person to speak to. Unlike today, it's just me. Though, I mean, I don't mind doing this solo, but I feel like it's just a lot more fun when it's somebody else who joins in the conversation. Let's see what else. I'm still doing the lives, Instagram lives, Monday mornings at 11 with Abundantly Authentic. That is Keisha Maflori, the girls' confidence coach. So I invite you to join us on her page. And let's see what else. And then at 11:30 we usually go onto my page, and let's see, and we share about the same message pretty much. We just try to carry that onto my page, that way my audience gets to see it as well. And I am also working on other things that you'll probably find out a little bit later. I'm really trying to be spontaneous and fun, so that you guys can learn a lot about issues related to bullying and diversity and parenting and entrepreneurship, of course, because those are the main things that I deal with on a daily basis. And if there's anything that I feel like I can share that might be able to help you, then why not? I love sharing knowledge. That's how I became to know of a lot of things, especially listening to older people, because they always know everything. They've been through it all, right? Yeah. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is overcoming hardships. Um, I think it's safe to say that pretty much everybody has experienced hardship in their life, not just monetarily, but emotional, psychological, and sometimes even physical hardships. We never know what life is going to throw at us, but what we do know is that it is going to happen at one point or another. And I think it's really important to know that from a young age, because for me, I remember thinking, gosh, why does bad stuff always happen to me? Not realizing that things just happen to everyone because that's how life is. It's a way of being tested, it's a way of growing, and it's not always very fun. But if you have a positive mindset, then you can deal with things a lot easier. And I mean, it's not going to be just, a walk in a park, but it's just not going to seem as terrifying. And I wish I would have learned that when I was younger, because it just seemed like one catastrophe after another, to the point to where when things were not going wrong, I was paranoid and kind of like just waiting for it. But I also did grow up in really, really different circumstances than other people. So I was speaking with someone earlier today who has an amazing story, and you can see that there's still a lot of pain, just like I carry a lot of pain from things from the past, just like everybody else does at one point or another. Like we all carry something that has happened in the past. And one of the things that really stuck out about her is that she knows how to identify when someone is doing like the self-conscious negative talk. Hey there, it's are you there, God? It's me, Margie. Hey, how are you? Thank you for watching. I follow you all the time. I'm always looking at your pictures. That's on Instagram, people. So I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook right now, in case you all are wondering who I'm talking about. So overcoming these hardships. And I was talking about this person I met with earlier today, and I remember I was saying something and I was kind of like a little bit doubtful, and I said something that she pointed out, and she said, okay, you got to stop that. You got to stop that negative thinking. Do you hear what you said? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. We do it so much that we don't even realize it. And for me, it has taken a lot to shift my mindset because of all the hardships that I have had throughout my life. And I've come a long way, but there's still a lot of work left to do. There's that doubt and that fear that always creeps in, and sometimes I catch it and sometimes I don't. Sometimes other people do. So I think it's important to actually listen to ourselves and try to catch that, because if we continue with that mentality, then the next time we have a life challenge, we're probably not gonna do as well handling it, compared to if you had a better mentality of it. And I know another person who just amazes me every time that there's some type of challenge going on in his life. He always manages to see the positive side of it, and I think that's extremely wonderful and powerful in order to achieve anything in life, whether it's going to college and graduating with great grades, or succeeding in your career or in your business. So there are several things that I think that you should keep in mind, aside from keeping a positive mind when going through hardship. Number one, this is something that somebody wrote to me a long years ago when I was like 19 or 20. And it was so simple, and I'd heard it before, but for some reason it really spoke to me. But it doesn't rain forever. The sun will come out and shine. And that is so absolutely true. I know that sometimes when you're going through some tough stuff, it feels like it's dragging on like it's an eternity. But I want you to always remember that it will pass. It definitely will pass, and it will be hard, and it will be get hard. It will be it will probably get harder even, before it gets better. But one person that still reminds me of that every single time that we have a problem is my husband, and I admire that about him, because he always says, like, I'm freaking out inside, but I always keep my mind on the positive side, and I know that that this too will pass. It will not end forever, and it's not gonna destroy us. It's not gonna like stop our existence or anything, but we just have to endure it and get through it. And that's absolutely correct. And just those words, they ease my fear sometimes, and it's helpful. I know that sometimes it doesn't. So that's number one. It will not last forever. That too will pass. Second thing is have somebody to talk to about it. That is another thing that I have done that has been a huge mistake, because sometimes I'm either embarrassed or I just feel like it's a weak thing to do, to go and vent to someone, or sometimes just because I don't want to feel judged. But I think that if we can find somebody who is neutral, who we feel like is not going to be judgmental and look at you different, that it's okay. Even if it's a psychotherapist or your counselor, just sharing it with someone, just airing it out, or even just saying it out loud, sometimes even just to yourself, or in a video, or on your recorder on your phone, or in front of the mirror. Just saying it out loud does something that can help you release that stress and that fear. And sometimes, there's been times where I've said something out loud to myself in front of the mirror, and just hearing it makes me want to cry. So I'll cry it out, but then I feel better afterwards. So you've got to have just some kind of outlet. And number 3, you've got to make a plan. You have to make a plan, a rational one, a realistic one, because everything has a solution. I hate it when I hear people say, I didn't have a choice, I had to do this. And that's usually untrue. What happens is that people usually have choices that they don't like, and the one that seems less unpleasant is the one that they go to, which is usually also not the right one. Sometimes the hard way is the right way, and people they just don't want to deal with it because they feel like what they're going through already is hard enough. So you got to have a plan. And that goes back to number 2, which is, like that person that you go to vent or to just share your concerns with. That person might be that unbiased person that might be able to see a easy solution, or an easier solution, or a practical solution to your problem, and give you some guidance. So keep that in mind. Just there's always an option, and we might not like them, and it might be hard, but there is an option. You don't have to turn to like the worst situation ever. Like, there was something I heard the other day. Somebody said, well, I can't even get a job, so I had to turn to selling drugs. And I'm sorry, but no, that's not true. You know why? Because there are people who can't get a job, and they decide to go sell flowers at the corner street instead of dealing drugs. So don't say that you don't have a choice. Let's see what else. Lastly, you have to be easy on yourself, and you cannot blame yourself with the what if I should have done this, what if so and so would have done that, because that doesn't help anything. What happened in the past is in the past, and you can't change it. So when we go back to that past and we go back to thinking like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, and what if so and so would have done this or that, you're just torturing yourself. And a lot of times we're trying to put blame on someone else because we can't handle how painful the process is of what we're going through. And sometimes you also end up hurting your relationship with other people because you're blaming them. So instead of looking back and blaming yourself or someone else, just focus on that solution, and make sure that you stay on track, because sometimes we start solutions and we get freaked out, or we just think that it's too hard and we're not going to make it, but you just gotta keep going. The difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is that the successful person just keeps failing and failing until they find a different way to succeed, and they can make it happen. And I know that it sounds very cheesy or cliche-ish, but it's the truth. And we just have to accept the reality that, if you do keep trying at something, you will succeed at it. I mean, that's pretty much what we do from birth, right? We try to breathe, we can't breathe, we kind of might gasp and not really know how to breathe, and then suddenly we're breathing and we're little infants without really knowing what the heck is going on. And then we're trying to walk, right? And we try to find weight, we crawl, we roll, we drag ourselves until suddenly we're walking, and then from walking we're running. It's all because we just keep trying. So that's what you have to do as well. And also, never think that you're the only one that has gone through hardships, because everybody goes through them. Even wealthy people, in their own way, they have their own hardships, and they might mean nothing to you, but to them it means a whole lot. And yeah, you can't compare them, but there's just, the majority of people around you are not the wealthy people who can just throw money at their problems. The majority of people around you are people just like you. They have to figure out a solution without throwing money at it. And sometimes there are those problems where you need to have the money to throw at it to make it go away. Like, say, for example, medical stuff that you can just pay a lot of money for a surgery, and then the person will be fine. It's just, you have so many different type of problems, and they cannot all be fixed with money. Sometimes they have to be fixed just with taking certain types of action. And lastly, just have hope and faith, and just try to stay positive. And I know that it's hard. Look, I know it because I struggle with that a lot, because I've always had that mentality of, oh shoot, what if something happens? And it's been really, really hard to change that. It has been something that I constantly work on every day, and I struggle with it even now. And that's why I made positive thinking and manifesting and positive affirmations a part of my Diversity and Anti-Bullying Academy program. I printed these. Oh, actually, I have some here, but I printed some postcards with positive messages on them that kids can read every day, because if they can learn how to have positive talks with themselves at an early age, then they will most likely be able to deal with their challenges in life a lot better than I have, at least. I know there's a lot of other people who have different challenges, but yeah, like, I'm confident, I'm worthy, I'm smart, just positive self-talk. I have another one that says, I can do anything if I set my mind to it. I have quite a few. Oh, this one was more like talking to myself. Today, I will let go of the past I do not need and create the future that I want. And that is just like dead on about what I'm talking about today. And let's see, what else do I have? I'm worthy of love, respect, and support. And I did that one thinking about all the people who are in bad friendships or bad relationships, romantic relationships, where they just let people take advantage of them and talk negatively to them, and they won't leave them because they think that person's going to change. And I want you to know that you are worthy of love and respect and support. So you know what? You don't need those people who don't treat you that way in your life. And lastly, There is no one as unique as me. That is my magic. And that is absolutely true. Like, everybody has their own magic. Everybody has their own something, and that's what makes all of us very, very special. And I hope that you all share this message with children in your life, with other friends, with your partners, and keep in mind that, everything does get better when you're going through hardship. And maybe you can be a friend. Maybe you can be that unbiased person that can help, listen to what they're going through and give sound, rational advice with love and without judgment. So I hope that you like this message. Thank you. My husband's on Facebook. He says, you definitely have lots of magic. Thank you, sweetie. I love you. Yeah, spread this message, share this video, tag people, especially if you know that they're going through something really rough right now, and maybe this will help them a little bit and get them through it, or at least get them started with seeing that shining light through all that darkness. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and catch me again on Monday on Instagram at 11 with abundantly authentic, and then at 11:30 on my page, and then on Wednesday as well on Instagram at 5 p.m. And next Friday I have a guest. I have Kim De Silva, and she is a Latin American studies teacher who's going to give us a few insights about Latin American facts and myths, and I hope that you're able to join us. All right, bye.